Okay, on this particular video we want to concentrate on the joints again, but we're going to do a different joint this time. We're going to constrain this this cylindrical piece here, this screw. So we'll give it the cylindrical type of joint, and we're going to locate that by using what we think will be the end of our threads on this piece and the end on this piece. Now it automatically brings that in that configuration. So what we're going to do is flip that, and you could have done that right here as well. So put these over by each other, and we'll hit OK. Now, as we can see, that's going to allow that to move, and maybe we'll ground this piece just for now. And we can move this up and down. Well, it's going to crash, so we want to set a limit. So let's go back to the cylindrical and right click and edit that constraint. And this time we're going to use a linear. Now we want that to be 0 for the start, and the end I'm just going to say 1 inch for now. And we'll see how that, oh, and by the way, that did show up in our preview there. If we click on that again, you can see there's the 1 inch of travel right there. So we'll see what we got there. So there it's all the way down and all the way up. So that's limiting that. And again, you can change that value to whatever you would need. And if we change that from a 1 to a 2, it'll go a little bit deeper into that piece, and it'll go down as far as that. So what a person could do is they could go back to this piece, right click on that, and either edit or open, and just see how much of that is threaded. So we can go to the thread 1 here, edit feature, and we'll see that the thread length on that is 3 3/4. So we'd have 3 3/4 of an inch of threading there, so we'll close that. We don't need to save that. We didn't change anything. So we could actually make that, edit that, and make that limit 3 3/4. Okay, and that should then go the full length. Oh, let's see. Oh, it's 3 3/4 minus this, isn't it? We wouldn't want that to crash there. So actually, the best way maybe to do that would be to measure in this assembly. Now we can't do that. We know this is 3 3/4. Actually, that total length was 4 because there was an offset of 1/4, and we'll go back and show you that. Right click on that and open. But we note that the thread was 3 3/4, and there was a 1/4 inch offset, and that's this value right here. So that total is 4 inches. And if we wanted to, we could go back to this extrusion, figure out which one it is, this one right here, and edit that feature, and it would tell us, I'm sorry, that's the wrong one. Which one was it? This one here, maybe. 4 inches on that extrusion, so we can see that. So we would want to go in there and take the 4 inches and subtract this value. So basically, I guess if we have that set up to 0, basically all we would need to do would be to measure, in this case, measure from this face right here to that face right there, and it tells us it's 2.5625, and you could actually highlight that and Control C that value. Then go back to your cylindrical, right click, edit, change the limits, and change this value right here, and just Control V that value. So you've saved that, and then we can go in there and make that motion, and that takes care of. Now that, well, I said that, but we've got to get rid of that 1/4 inch, don't we? So we'll right click that, take that limit, and we'll take that value minus 0.25. Now let's see what we got. So now we go down to there and it stops, which is what would happen in that case. So that's the cylindrical, and putting a limit on it. Obviously we're going to have some crash there, so we'd have to do some more work on that as we add pieces to it. And then we also want to take that fork and turn off the grounding, so this thing will still make its move. Okay, and that's all for that particular joint configuration.